Om. 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 Sai Ram, everyone. Welcome to the Study Circle Hour. Today we have, Brother Arun, who's going to have a talk with us. And thank you, Brother Arun, for coming here. And, thanks, Swami, for giving us this opportunity. With no further ado, I would like to call upon Vineet to give an introduction for Brother Arun, and then we can get started with the talk. Sai Ram.
Humble pranams at Bhagwan's lotus feet. And in many gatherings, I have had the privilege of introducing and associating myself with various alumni, teachers, and institute members. I think this one is very special to me because Brother Arun, not that he was an illustrious alumni, but he's also a very dear friend. I think we have known each other for many years. We moved to Amsterdam around the same time, and that got our association a bit more. But I think when we go back in time, there was a period when I remember like Bhagwan would just keep calling on Brother Arun to give talks. He would talk eloquently in Telugu, actually, and then he also composed some beautiful music and beautiful songs. So I think when we dig into his experiences today, it's a very unique opportunity where we'll probably get some pearls which you probably won't have listened ever before. And one reason why I say that also is he had a very unique, very divine and a very unique fortune to be closely associated with Swami to the extent that for years he lived in Swami's residence. And what he would have observed, the humanity outside, the divinity inside, and the unique association which balanced everything, what he would have observed, probably we'll get some glimpses of that. So I think we should let him talk, but then just going back, other than the fact that he's Bhagwan's student, he was in very close proximity, at some point walking behind Swami, helping Swami, living in his residence. He also is a very successful corporate person today. He works for Philips in Amsterdam. He was actually traveling down here for a conference, and I got to know, and I used my personal connections, and I'm like pulled him over here so that we can experience. And I think it's Swami's will that we got him here. Yesterday, when me and Prashant went to pick him up, Prashant was saying the traffic seemed to be all on the other side, and Swami was making way for us to reach on time and reach here. So I think we're very, very happy. I think these are some experiences which probably we will not get to hear unless it's a very close-knit gathering like this where someone can just open up and open the book of their life and share. So I think with those thoughts, I will invite Brother Arun. Thank you so much for being with us.
Humble pranams at the lotus feet of our dear Lord. Thank you, Vineet, for a very warm and nice introduction. And I'm really happy to be here with all of you. Great weather and a very divine and serene setting here. You can feel Bhagwan's presence as soon as you enter this hall. So I'm really thankful and fortunate that I'm here to be able to spend some time with all of you and relive some of the wonderful golden moments of my life with Bhagwan. I think Bhagwan's ways are very mysterious. And sometimes I feel, like brother mentioned, I'm here on official work. I work for Philips, and there's a huge sales kickoff conference happening in Vegas. And then he took that excuse and he said, why don't you come over here? But knowing Bhagwan's scheme of things, this could be the main reason why the sales kickoff was organized. So, yeah, for me, I think this is the main reason why I'm here. And because I can't fly all the way from Amsterdam, I think Bhagwan just made it a sponsored trip for me. And yeah, we were, Vineet was giving me a lot of context around what this center is, how, ever since he came here, how impressed he is with everything that all of you do for Bhagwan, and how you are organized and, truly focused singularly on Bhagwan. So I was really looking forward to, meeting all of you and sharing some of my experiences. And he was also like, he's my senior in Satyasai College. So he also kind of gives me a few tips on like, hey, what are you going to speak? He's kind of checks on me like, what are you going to speak? This is the mix of the people here. There's, and then he kind of prodded me to, think about what you're going to speak. He gave me a few hints on what would really be a meaningful 1 hour time. By the way, talking of time, please remind me if, so I'll kind of modulate, because you can easily get lost for a long time when talking of Bhagwan. So I was thinking, what should I talk? And because of the jet lag, I got up at 3 a.m. this morning, and I was thinking like, what is the best topic to talk when speaking about Bhagwan and when you're relating your experiences. And I think without any, if you don't overcomplicate things, I think the simple, straightforward thing that you have to say, if you have to describe Bhagwan in one word, or his message in one word, or his life in one word, for me it is love. So I thought, okay, let me take this as a central theme, and how I experienced. And it always happens to me that there's some kind of a sign or a signal that, yeah, you have my consent for this topic. And I was very, very pleasantly surprised that when I came and the song was played, the very first word was love. The Prema Kurupai Nilachina Saik. I think that was, was definitely something I feel like he said, yeah, go ahead and talk about what I was here for, what I really was. So talking about love, and in Bhagwan's word with which he uses in Telugu, prema. If I have read a lot of the Satyasai Speaks discourses over a period of time, right from early, late 50s, 60s, 70s. In the initial days, when people were getting to know Bhagwan, he used to, when there was a congregation, he used to address the congregation as Divyatma Swarupulara. If I don't know if some of the people, old timers, So translated into English, it is embodiments of the divine Atma or the divine self. But I think over a period of time, he stopped using that, that way of addressing, and somewhere he switched to Prema Swarupulara. And that was the only way he used to address everybody congregated. The very first word of his speech, it was always Prema, because that's the very final destination of where he wants us to be. So that was a very interesting observation. And, although love is a very, very, very simple, it's just one word, it's also very precious and a very difficult thing. What does Bhagwan mean by love? Right? Is it just being nice to, being all the time nice to one another? Or what is love? What is his definition of love? Of course, he's saying Prema Swarupulara. Of course, he's saying cultivate love. Of course, he's saying like start the day with love, end the day with. But what is love? Right? And I think, to be very honest, to this day, I don't think I understand the full import of what he means, or the full depth of what he means by love. But I can definitely say I am richer in my understanding of that word because of all the fantastic experiences that I have been very blessed. So let me take some leaves out of my book and share with you. And I'll be very very informal. I will tell you some of the things that happened as I recollect, as I remember, and I will try to keep connecting what Bhagwan said about love in different settings. And one of the definition Bhagwan gives is like love is very patient. That's one of the qualities. It's not in a hurry. And I think he says like the three things that are not good for us are hurry, worry, and curry. So, so love is not in a hurry. Love is very patient. And I think some of, this aspect of love, Bhagwan demonstrated with me when I finished my master's in business administration in Bhagwan's College in 2001. So 2001, I finished my master's, and that was a very pivotal moment in anybody who studies in Bhagwan's colleges or institutions. That's the time when, technically you're finished and you're going out to make a living. But for me, I was very confused. I was there for a couple of years. I got some good chances with Swami. He spoke to me a few times. He made me act in a few dramas, and me and Vineet were in a couple together. But I was not very satisfied. I thought like there's more, like, it's, my thirst was not quenched. I wanted to experience more and more of Bhagwan. It's a good addiction. But I was also like, I need to go make a living, get a good job, and go be with my parents. So I was very, very conflicted. I waited for some time. Sometimes Bhagwan would call the boys and say, hey, what are you doing? So for some, he will give a very clear direction saying like, okay, go do something. For some, he'll say, yeah, wait. Some boys would just wait for until they get some clear guidance from Bhagwan. So I was also waiting. But for a very long time, there was nothing very specific from Bhagwan. So I decided maybe this is the end of my journey at Prashant Nilayam, and I booked a ticket to go back to my hometown, which is Vizag. But I said, how can I take Bhagwan with me? And then I bought a very big, that beautiful book, Love is My Form, with all the whole history of Bhagwan's childhood and all. So I was all set. The day came when I was ready to leave Prashanti Nilayam. And it was morning, almost around this time, 9:15, 9:30 a.m. And I was in the bhajan hall. Bhagwan had gone out for a round in the car. He used to go out to the hospital or take a drive to a few places in the ashram. So he went out. And one of my friends told him, Arun, are you going today? I said, yeah, I'm going. So why don't you sit near the bhajan hall door? Maybe you'll have a chance to tell Swami and go. I said, okay, fine. I mean, I had no such expectations because I don't even know if, Swami would have the time for me. So I sat near the bhajan hall door, and then Swami came in the car, and he stopped in front of the Ganesha. And then he opened the door, and he didn't even open it fully. He was quite far away from the bhajan hall door, and as he was opening the door, he looked at me, and he said in Telugu, Emra Potunava, means, hey, are you leaving today? Right? First of all, I didn't even know how he knew that I was leaving that day. And then he walked towards me. I went forward, and I said, yes, Swami, I'm leaving. And then what was there in my heart kind of came out. And I said, but I don't feel like leaving, Swami. Then he said, oh, you don't feel like leaving? Okay. No problem. You do one thing, you leave now, stay with your parents for few days, and then come back. I said, okay, fine. So that was at least some clear direction. And then I said, thank you, Swami, and I went back into the bhajan hall. And Swami went into the interview room. After a few minutes, he opened the interview room door a little, and he put his hand and he said, hey, Vizag boy, come in. My hometown was Vizag, so he knew me by that name. I went inside, and immediately he put his hand in my shirt pocket. I didn't understand what was happening. Then he said, this is money for your return ticket. And he was just making sure that, that I would come back. And, and then he gave me vibhuti, and he said, go give this to your parents, and then you come back. And then I will talk to you. I said, okay, thank you so much. I was very, very happy. And I went home and spent a few days with my parents. I told them Bhagwan wants me to come back. They were gracious enough. They didn't understand what was happening. This fellow finished his MBA, but why does he want to go back? Like, he should be going and doing, getting a job so that we can find a suitable girl for him. But I think it was Bhagwan's grace, and I have to really thank my parents for being very open and trusting me with what I wanted to do, although I did not know what I wanted to do. So I did come back, and after I came back, I expected a royal reception. That I will be there in the bhajan hall. Swami will come. Oh, did you come back? Yeah, very nice to see you. Come, let's talk. Right? But very typical of Bhagwan. He did not speak to me. In fact, several days passed. Days passed into weeks, and it was almost like he did not recognize me. I was waiting, and on one hand, I was getting very impatient, and I would sometimes call my parents, and they'll say, "Oh, so did he speak to you?" I said, "No." And then on one hand, there was a little bit of an embarrassment because everybody thought like something will happen, Swami. So I was getting very, very impatient. A few weeks passed, and I got really, really impatient. I said, "No, this is not working out." And I wrote a letter to Bhagwan, saying like, I've waited for a long time, and maybe this was like I think maybe there was a little bit of an emotional blackmail. So I kind of wrote that maybe I'm not such a great devotee, you don't want to speak to me. Like I was very free with Bhagwan. So I just wrote a letter. Obviously I did not dare to give this to Bhagwan because he would not come anywhere near me. So I put it in the courier. And I was almost half or 90% expecting. This was the way to just vent out my frustration. And I didn't expect that it will reach Bhagwan, because from my later part of assignment with Bhagwan, there are literally hundreds of letters coming in through the courier to Prashantanilayam. Everything would get mixed up. There was no chance that Swami on the physical level would not read all those letters. They would reach. Sometimes he would pick up one or two. Otherwise, they would reach and they will be respectfully stored in a place. But so I know that because I was the one who was receiving the letters. But at that point of time, I was like, hey, when I sent the letter, Bhagwan that evening came, and he said he was very upset. He came and said, "Do you want to go?" I said, "No, Swami, I just wrote the letter." Then he said, "No, you are," he called me Donga, means thief. He said, sometimes you say you want to stay, sometimes you say you want to leave. Then he said, "You leave." He was very upset. In fact, he called me into the interview room and he said, "You leave. This is my prasad, and whenever you come, I will give you Pad Namaskar, but you leave." Then, all I wanted was Bhagwan's attention. Right? I did not want to leave, but he was not talking to me. And then I said, "Bhagwan, but okay, I will leave, but when should I leave?" Then he said, "You should leave right now. At this moment, you should leave." I said, "I don't have a ticket, Swami." I mean, those days, the Indian Railways was not still online, right? Like you had to go, stand in the queue. It's not easy to just jump on a train and go off to home. And my home was like 25, 26 hours away from Prashantanilayam by train. Then he said, "Oh, is it?" Then, see, Krishnashtami is coming. After Krishna, you see, in Telugu, very sweetly he said, "Krishnashtami చూసుకొని వెళ్ళిపో." He said, there will be Krishnashtami celebration. This was in August. You see Krishnashtami and go. And I said, In fact, he specifically said, I will tell you after Krishnashtami. I said, okay, Swami. So I waited. Couple of weeks passed. Krishnashtami happened. Again, I expected that, now at least he will come and, tell me something, what he wants me to do. He did not do that. Again, couple of weeks passed. And again, I was getting very impatient. I think inside of me, I was not very clear. Right? What did I want? Right? Do I want to stay here, or do I want to go and do something with on the regular trajectory of somebody who passed out or graduated from college? So one of the days, in the mornings, those days used to be a very nice time because the college boys wouldn't be there. The boys who passed out had a little bit of a time. The darshan would be over and Bhagwan would be near the interview room, sometimes coming out and speaking to a few people. So you could actually ambush Bhagwan if you wanted to. Golden days. So one of the days I took the courage and I saw Bhagwan coming out of the interview room. I took the courage and walked in front of him and knelt down. And then he said, Yemi. And I said, Swami, you said Krishnashtami, choosukoni po, that after Krishnashtami you will tell me what to do. So please tell me. Then he said, oh, did I tell you like that? Yes, Swami. Oka pani cheyi, Onam ostondi, Onam choosukoni po. That was in September. Usually Onam happens in September. So I said, okay, Swami. So I went back to my waiting. Onam happened, beautiful. Like Onam is one of my most favorite festivals in Prashant Nilayam, with that, the music and the drums, and it was really beautiful. So Onam happened. Again, the same cold treatment. He wouldn't. In fact, things worsened after Onam. He wouldn't. So then I was really in a dilemma. This is not. I knew this was not ending anywhere. And one night, I decided that this is not the attitude I should have. I think I am putting a responsibility on Bhagwan of telling me what to do, but I'm not clear. So one night I got up and I said, okay, no matter what happens, whether Bhagwan speaks to me or whether he gives me a direction, I'm going to just stick on here. Let me see what happens, how long it takes for Swami to give me a proper, whatever happens and whatever pressure I might have, I'm going to stick on. And then I stopped any communication with Bhagwan. I stopped writing any letters. I didn't sit in the front. I was quite in the back. I was almost challenging Bhagwan that, okay, now I'm into your game. No, so I'm here. I'm around, right? And then let's figure out what happens. So I was continuing. I was, a few days passed, and one of the days, another senior brother who was doing a PhD, who was almost about to finish PhD in chemistry, his name was Shivakumar. He came and he told me, Arun, Swami asked me to collect a few boys. He has some work, so he asked me to collect a few boys and make them sit near the main door of the bhajan hall. So you also come. And he collected a few other boys. And I said, okay. And he did not know all this background between me and Swami. Like, there was lot of back and forth seesaw going on. And so he said, you come, and I sat. Apparently, Swami had told him that, look, I need 2 boys to come with me during the darshan. Around that time, Swami had made the announcement that he would not give Padanamaskar physically anymore. And he said, I need 2 boys who would come with me during the darshan and just gently tell the devotees that they should not touch Swami's feet anymore. That was what Swami told this brother. And he said, get some good boys. I want to see if somebody can help me. And I was in that group of boys. I was sitting. And after some time, Bhagwan came. Bhagwan came and he stopped near the bhajan hall door, and he asked Shivakumar in Telugu, and I'll translate. Emira pillalni teesukochinava? Means, did you get the boys? And then he said, yes, Swami. And he showed like this, and I was right behind him. And then Swami saw me, and he became furious. It's almost like, sometimes you hear stories about Swami appeared as Rama, Krishna, Narasimha. I think that day I saw Narasimha Swami. So, and with all his hair, the lion-like mane, and he became furious, and his eyes were red, and he shouted at Shivakumar, and he said, what did I tell you, and what did you do? I said, Swami, you asked me to get some boys, I got some boys. He said, I asked you to get some good boys, not bad boys. And you got this fellow? And he was stunned because he had no context of, that I was doing all this hide and seek. And then Swami continued. He said, what are you doing? He asked him. And he said, Swami, I'm about to finish my PhD. Is it? Then he called controller and he said, don't give him PhD this year. And then he walked back into the interview room. He called the vice chancellor and the registrar and the controller. Everybody went behind. Like, what just exploded? Like one of the conversations that happened in the Oval recently. Right? Something like that happened. And then this guy turns to me and said, brother, what happened? Was there a problem? Then I told him, see, all of this, and I think he's very upset with me because every time I'm saying, I want to go. Then he said, you should tell me before I call you, not after all of this. So he was little bit like he didn't know and what was going to happen. I was anyway. I in Telugu there is a saying that for somebody who's fully drowned it doesn't matter, right? So I was like, yeah, what can I do? You called me. It was not my mistake. So I just sat there, right? Worst case, what he'll come and tell me, get out from here, right? So I sat there. After again 5 minutes, this time the registrar of the institute came out. His name is a very great devotee of Bhagwan, Lakshmi Narasimham. And he said, he came out and he speaks very gently and very gentle person. And then he came out and he said, Babu, who is Arun here? Then I said, sir, Babu, Swami is asking, will you stay or will you go? And I said, sir, I will stay, sir. Then he said, oh, okay, very good. And then he went back inside. Again he came out after 5 minutes. And he said, Babu, Swami is really asking, will you stay or will you go? Then he said, sir, I'm 100% telling you I am going to stay, sir. Then he was also like, okay. Then he went inside. And the third time he came out and he said, Babu Swami is calling you. And he also told Shivakumar, Swami is calling you. So we both went inside, and this Shivakumar was like, I think, this PhD thing was. So we both went inside. And Swami was sitting in the interview room, like that on the chair. And the institute elders were on this side and that side. I went inside. And Swami looked at me as soon as I stepped inside, and he said, I want you to go. I think there are moments in life where some higher power takes over you, right? You can't explain why you say some things, why you do some things. I think that this was one of those moments. Then I said, Swami, I'm not going. Then again he repeated. In Telugu he said, and I'll translate it. He said, Idina Agnya, means this is my command. I'm not requesting you, I'm commanding you to go. Then I told him, even if it is your command, I'm not going. And I don't know how I told that. As soon as I told that, suddenly his face changed. And he broke into a big smile. And he said, see, this is what I want. All this while, monkey mind, going, staying, going, bumps and jumps. No, you should not be like that. You don't know what is the chance you are getting. The whole world is waiting for some time with Swami. And here you are thinking, should I be here or should I leave? And he gave me a few examples of some devotees, a lady from Russia who came and who had an incurable headache. And the moment, Swami touched her headache, these are all things he told me. These are the things that are happening. People are coming. And you are saying like, I want to go. You know what? What is the right solution for you? I'll find you a nice wife for you who will then take the broom and hit you on the back. Then you will learn how to be decisive in life. I said, okay, Swami. Then he said, good, I'm very happy. You and Shivakumar, from tomorrow you both be with me, you follow me, you collect some of the things that I give, when devotees give letters, and you gently tell the devotees who try to touch my feet that they should not touch Swami's feet. You should tell them that Swami's feet are in their heart. This was, again, he telling Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam. You worship the heart, in your heart. That's where the true feet of the Lord was. And then from then on, I got this unique opportunity to go behind Bhagwan and, so why I'm saying this is this behavior of Swami helps us understand one aspect of what he calls love. He was so patient with me. It was not at all about him. I mean, he had millions of people waiting, but he somehow felt that me being with him could benefit me. But he was so patient, and he always says that, each one of us is like a flower, and every flower takes its own time to bloom. And you cannot force open the petals of a flower just because. It has to do on its own. And the sun gives the radiance for the lotus flower to bloom, but the lotus flower has to bloom by itself. and he made my heart open to him, but he took a lot of time for me to get clarity. And the manner in which I spoke to him, the manner in which I challenged him, the manner in which I took liberties with him, being where he is, adored by the millions of people, he was absolutely like a like a like a true friend doesn't take to heart what another true friend says. I think he just didn't take to heart he just wanted the right thing to happen for me. So that was step one, like, just being patient, just being, just allowing you to bloom as a person. I think we need to take a leaf out of this, and you know this is simply dropping the judgment of how a certain person should be, why a certain person is like this. I mean, if Swami can have so much patience with us, we can certainly afford to have a lot of patience with our family, with our friends, with people in our circle. And really, I think that's one aspect of love that I wanted to share. Um, the another example comes to my mind on, the another quote that Swami says is like, I keep giving you what you want until you are ready to take what I want to give you. Right? And many times, we even after so much of experience, so much of witnessing the power and the glory of what Bhagwan has come to give us ultimately, which is the full experience of love. Of sometimes we tend to forget, but I think he's very patient, and he kind of teaches you using time, using circumstance, that this is not what you should want from me. What you should want is something else. So one of the days, after I started going around with Bhagwan, one of the days he called me, and he materialized a gold chain, and he put it around my neck in the interview room. I came out, and the mind, right? I saw he just gave me a chain, but there is no pendant in the chain. Because I saw many others in my class, get some really nice pendants. So I came out very disappointed. Like, just imagine, like, he's calling you and he's putting a beautiful chain around your neck, but you are not happy. Ego, right? It's comparison. That's what the ego does. Like, I don't think I measured the size of the chain, but it was just the pendant. What is it? He got a nice pendant. I didn't. So I wrote a letter to Bhagwan again. Because I know Swami reads letters, even if you put it in the courier. I was going around with Bhagwan every day, but I had no guts to give him a letter. So this time I again put it in the courier only. I wrote in the letter, Swami, thank you so much. You gave me this nice golden chain. But if you had also given me a pendant with your image on it, it would have been really nice. I made it appear like, I wanted that pendant with his image. Right? But I really wanted that pendant. I didn't feel like it was a complete gift set. So I just sent that letter. Nothing happened. It was somewhere during the Dasara. And when the Dasara discourses used to happen, I used to sit behind Swami's chair near the podium. Just in case he wants something, I would be around. And then he started his discourse. In Telugu, he started saying what, what has God come to give? God has come to give you the greatest of his treasure. God has infinite power. And, he said, people come and ask for all petty things from God. And he uses in Telugu, this is Kalpavruksham daggiriki poi coffee powder adiginattu. Means you go to the Kalpavruksha and you said, can you give me some coffee powder? The wish fulfilling tree. He said, Atla, yemi adagali, Swamini, what you have to ask? I want this, I want that. Some people ask, Swami, you gave me chain, you didn't give me pendant. This is all recorded, it's on video. And I was sitting behind. Okay. I was praying to somebody, don't reveal who wrote that letter to you. Just forget about the pendant. It's okay, right? And then he didn't say anything. He just went inside. Next day morning, he called me for interview. And he said, okay. First, when I went into the interview room, he showed me his hand like this. He put his 5 fingers like this. And he said, what do you see? I said, nothing, Swami. Then he did like this. Okay. And then he waved his hand and he produced a beautiful square pendant with his image on that. And he said, come, let me put this pendant in your chain. And then he was trying to fit that square pendant into the chain that he only gave, right? He was trying. In the interview room, all people were sitting, everybody thought Swami will speak to them, but he's fitting this pendant into the chain. He's trying, he's putting it inside, it's not going. After a few minutes, he got frustrated and he said, you keep both. And he took one group inside. Then he came out again for, because he takes a few people, at a time. Then he came out. And then he said, give me your pendant. So I gave him the pendant, and then he took that and he blew it 3 times. And the square pendant turned into a round pendant this time. And he said, this should fit now. And then he asked me for the chain again. And then he tried to fit the pendant again. Again, it was not fitting. Then he said, okay, something needs to be done about this. Then he saw that the end of the chain was a little big. There was a hook. And because of that, this pendant was not going inside. Then he said, give me your chain. And he took the chain, put the chain in his teeth, and he pressed the end of the chain with his teeth, made it smaller, and then he put the pendant inside. Till today, I have that chain with Swami's teeth marks on it. For him, who has materialized this chain, who has materialized the pendant, it would have been perhaps a lot more easier to do everything in one shot, if this was the goal. But there was a lesson in this. And he had to demonstrate his love. And to me, the most precious thing that I have today is not that gold chain or the pendant, but the affection that he demonstrated by using his teeth, just like a mother would do. And that teeth mark is the most precious thing for me. And I think this is what, Brother Vineet was alluding to. Like in one moment, he shows you his all-encompassing power. Another moment, he's your very dear, very own, the closest of the close, who does these very affectionate things. And I think that is what, Bhagwan's love is all about. But I think the story here was, after he did this, he turned to everybody and again he showed the hand. What do you see? I did not say anything, but Swami said, earlier you told that you see nothing, but I am telling you, everything is in Swami's hands. So, when Swami can give you everything, don't ask for silly things like what you are asking for. Realize that Swami can give you everything. Everything is in Swami's hands. And then he told the people around, see, hamara boys kuch bhi nahi janta. So like our boys don't know anything what Swami is capable of. And this is how, he kept giving me. He kept pampering me. He kept giving me the attention and the recognition, the chances, everything that I wanted. But he kept reminding me, I am not here for all of this. I am here for something else. And that something else is the fact that I and you and everything else in this world is just an embodiment of love. The greatest gift that I am here to give you is for you to experience that love. That is the most precious thing. If there was, I think everybody in this congregation will agree that if there is one most precious way, if you had just a minute left in our life, and what is the most precious way to spend that minute? I would say to experience love. That is what, because I think that's what everybody aspires for. Only we do not know how to do it. But we need not be in a hurry. He will teach us. He demonstrated to us through his life by creating an opportunity, to have all these mundane transactions like, writing letters, receiving, negotiating on whether you want to stay or not, and, I want to give you this, but you're asking. These are all ways in which, this infinite thing called love, which is the basis of everything, which is what Swami is in the end, he has provided us this opportunity. And brothers and sisters, one thing what I have realized with Bhagwan is near is not necessarily dear. Near is not necessarily dear. There is an overlap. Sometimes people who are near can be very dear. Sometimes people who are very near to Bhagwan need not be dear. And people who are very dear to Bhagwan need not be near, which is the kind of assembly that this hall is, right? But because in love, there is nothing called near and far. In love, there is only dearness. wherever you are. And what is, what is Bhagwan's ultimate definition of love? Bhagwan's simple definition of love is selflessness. Very simple. You should not feel that you are a separate self. Somebody else is a separate self. Somebody else is a separate self. That is the root cause of all the problems. And that's what he's saying. There is no separation. Because the moment you say, I am this self, then you are saying, I am not that self. So his definition is love is selflessness. Everything is one. Everybody is one. He keeps saying that, ekatvam, unity, purity and divinity. Because the total experience of oneness is love. And that's what he says. We all are one. I'm not sure how much time I have. 5 minutes. Okay. So I want to share with you something that I've shared a couple of times. How one day he demonstrated this ultimate message that he wants me to at least start trying to know. One of the festival days, he asked the students to bring out a lot of Bhagwan's robes, like the one which is in the chair. And he wanted to distribute those robes to a lot of devotees. And there were hundreds of those robes. They were all stacked up in the interview room. And he called me and a few others and he said, start bringing out the robes and giving it to the students. And let's finish this fast before the bhajan ends. So everybody was rushing. Me and a couple of people were rushing in and rushing out to get the robes out in time. So there was this back and forth inside the interview room, outside the interview room. And, on one of the, cycles, I was rushing into the interview room. By the time Swami was not outside, Swami was inside the interview room. I was rushing into the interview room to pick up the next stack of the robe. And as soon as I entered, I was running. As soon as I entered, I saw Bhagwan in front of me. And because of my momentum, I tried to stop myself, but I could not. I went forward and my head hit Bhagwan's head. I was stunned for a moment. And I knelt down and I said, sorry, Swami. And then Swami said, he didn't get upset. He didn't get annoyed. He didn't say, are you blind? Couldn't you have been more careful? He didn't say that. He said something which I can never forget in my life. And he said, why sorry? You and I are one. He lives that. And he used this occasion to tell me, if you and I are one, and he and I are one, and she and I are one, if everybody is one with Swami, then everybody is also one with each other. And this is something that ultimately he wants all of us to experience. And this will not come through effort. You cannot one day wake up and decide, I'll experience oneness. It is something that needs to be bestowed. And it needs to be bestowed by Bhagwan. And we need to follow on his path, be patient, like he was patient with me and with several of us. And in time, the lotus of the heart will bloom, and we will be able to experience the full radiance of the love, which is his brilliance, the sun. So we are all on that journey. I'm still on that journey, and I hope and pray to Bhagwan that he blesses all of us to experience this love in its totality. With that, I pray to Bhagwan and thank him and all of you for giving me this opportunity. Sai Ram.
Anyone has any questions for Brother Arun?
I got the wife who's exactly like he described. And if I have to explain, my wife was not a traditionally, in a family that believed in Swami. And she does, even to till day, she doesn't have a lot of details about Swami. But her only mission in life is to make me stay connected with the Sai system. So every day she says, did you speak to this person? Did you talk to your, why don't you do this? And she will do anything to make space for me to go and give a talk, to go and meet anybody in the Sai system. She makes it her mission, like Swami said, to just keep me connected with Swami in a very strange way. Although she doesn't know, she never met Swami, she didn't see Swami, but somehow she makes it her mission that I'm always connected with Swami. So I think it just turned out the way he wanted it to be.
So it feels odd to tell thank you to Prashant, to Arun. But I was about to say, Prashant, can we play the song? There's a beautiful song which Arun composed actually, which has always resided in our hearts. And we should probably play that song and thank him via that. And the other thing which I also feel is that it felt like that this could just go on, and I kept looking at the clock, that can it go a little slow? Thank you.
It's always like that with Bhagwan. Thank you.
So I just want to say, a big thank you to Brother Arun. It was a wonderful, and enriching talk, from where he took us with all the aspects of love, patience, and, with Swami's hand showing that Swami has, he takes care of everyone. So thank you, Brother Arun. It's a wonderful talk, and thank you so much for coming here. It was a hectic trip for you, work trip, but you made your time, and thank you to Vineet and Prashant to drive to Vegas and bring them here. So this is a small token from all the people here for you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sai Ram.